have a couple on my show. They are the first couple, y'all. Like the first couple. Okay, because I have the first lady, I have the first man. Now it's the first couple. So they're making history for this show. I have Backspin Music. Hi, y'all.
Hey.
How are y'all doing today?
Good.
Doing well, thanks.
That's good.
Thanks for having us.
You're so welcome. So tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Well, we're a husband and wife duo. We do music for different events, such as weddings, quinceañeras, birthday parties, corporate events. And he's the talent, and I help manage the affairs of what our talent does and all that goes to it.
That's good. So tell us your names. Everybody know who you are. Because I know Backspin Music. I know y'all individually, but we know y'all for real.
Yeah, so I'm CJ. This is Megan. This is my wife. And a little background from us. I'm from Virginia. She's from Pittsburgh. We met in South Carolina and started a business in Georgia together, like two crazy kids, just trying to make a living.
That's good. I'm so happy for y'all.
Thank you.
So you're welcome. So, what motivates you all to start Backspin Music and become a DJ?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as a young age, even in high school, my dad was big into music, and he actually helped me operate a recording studio in my hometown growing up. That was in 2011. So from there, we did recording for small artists, for bands, for anybody who wanted to produce music that was cost effective in our town, because it was kind of a small area and you really had to travel to the city to do that. And we wanted a place where everybody could kind of feel at home, like it was their hometown recording studio. So we did that for about 6 to 7 years. And my cousin actually was getting married, and that's how I kind of dove in. My sister, I have 5 of them. I had one sister get married, and she paid an astronomical rate for a DJ. And I was like, wow, I could have done that for nothing.
Right.
I just enjoyed doing it. So I really found out that there wasn't really affordable DJs that were willing to travel and make the event about the client and not about the music that they want to play.
Right.
It's hard to find a DJ that molds to the bride and groom. And that's what we focused on. So that's how we kind of dove in, was trying to be that affordable, cost-effective, but quality that you want as a client, rather than the DJ just spinning records for fun.
Right.
So we wanted to take care of our clients. So that's how I dove into it. Really started with family, and everyone was like, wow, you're really good at this. You should make it a business. And we kind of did. That's what it turned into.
Absolutely. With my own personal experience, I grew up in a family of musical people. My father he's a musician. He plays all sorts of different instruments. And so when I was a child, my family and I, we would go to support music events. We would do everything from sound checks. I used to be that little kid, like if we were performing at a bar or something, I was just grabbing some drinks from my dad and his bandmates and be like, oh, check out Roadhouse. Oh, go check out this band, The Third, like go help them out, go see them. And so that was kind of a thing I've always done.
Event marketing since she was younger.
Yep. Right.
That was definitely a big thing. And then as we grew up, we went to school together. And so basically in my time at UC Aiken, with the music department, the theater department, some of the biggest things was the marketing industry. And then I worked for the business school, or the business part of the newspaper for our college that we went to. And so I was promoting a lot of stuff there. And so when we got together doing the business, one thing I really wanted to do is just, be supportive of him, but also really promote out to these couples, like what we could potentially offer. And, quality is always the biggest thing, and making sure what people really want is the biggest thing for us, truly.
That's good. And see, I remember you in school, like us both being in the theater, okay? Yeah, like we were very involved, like backstage, on stage. I remember it like it was yesterday. Oh my gosh. So yes, I know. Yes, ma'am. So speaking of being a DJ, like how did you start out being a DJ? Like, did y'all start out with vinyls or y'all start out with CDs? Because it has evolved literally like overnight. So tell me a little bit about that.
So with me, I started doing this originally solo when I was younger, and I kind of took a step back. Megan really brought me back into it. I hadn't done it in years since I was younger, and we started the business, and I guess right before COVID.
Yeah, right before
is when we started our business together.
Okay.
Basically, I was Backspin Studio. Backspin Studios was the recording studio we used, so we turned that into Backspin Music.
Okay.
So together, so when I started, it was CDs. We would be popping CDs in, and it had a little fader as a dual CD deck, and you fade across the other CDs, and you had to set your track. It's changed a lot. Everything now is digital, and you have your DJ controller where you can spin like it's vinyl, but it's all digital. And the mixing and crossfading and everything that's available now is just insane compared to the old vinyls. Now, I would say old vinyl is as close to the new digital age as it gets because you can really scratch records with old vinyl, but CDs was tough.
Yeah.
CDs was a different land.
Yes.
Yeah. But luckily the change came, honestly, digital started popping up in like 2011.
Yes.
CDs had just started fading out, and the first DJ controllers on computers were coming out before they even got the additional hardware. Now, they did have vinyl hardware that you could plug into your computer, and it was a USB combination. Of course, back there, it was all FireWire. Now, everything's USB-C, instant. It's so fast. This microphone we're using right now is on a USB-C. I'm just impressed with the technology. It's crazy.
Yeah, I would have to say, just watching from how my dad translates music stuff now, like the old equipment we used to lug around. Oh my gosh,
I believe it.
All these different forms of equipment. Now it's just a simple insert, and I'm like,
everything's wireless. Everything's for Bluetooth now. It's such a cool thing to have. Especially with like wireless microphone technology is just through the roof now.
Yes,
absolutely impressive. With like you have your DJI mics and everything that people are using for camera, your Rode mics, all the little wireless ones are so amazing.
Yeah. And even just when we do like weddings and stuff like that now, like I could be on one side of the venue and I'm on the other side and keeping eye contact with them, and be like, okay, cue this next song, and we have. Now it's all capable of Bluetooth now.
Yeah, we do it from our phone,
speakers and everything now too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible, like what you can do now.
Wow.
So it makes it a little bit easier to kind of work together.
How you literally start from vinyl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and also,
like
I'll tell you
Bluetooth
this.
and stuff.
Yeah, so the biggest issue with CDs and vinyl is carrying it all. Is lugging the crates of vinyl around.
People don't
and the boxes of CDs.
Yes.
You'd have to carry 900 to 1,000 CDs to get all the music you wanted. Most of them you would pre-burn yourself so you could flip tracks and have like a playlist within a CD instead of using the actual CD. Like a lot of people don't realize you don't just use the CD from the manufacturer.
Right.
You're ripping all the music and you're re-burning your own CDs to kind of flip them in so you have your tracks lined up and you can fade across. But lugging boxes, like bankers boxes with the CDs around. Now you just carry a laptop that's the size of a notebook, and you've got 1 million songs instead of just 10,000. It's crazy. And the coolest thing about the digital aspect is request. Used to, it's like, oh, if I have the song in my box, then I can play it, right?
Right.
Now they can pull something from TikTok, and I can rip it from my phone in 10 minutes and play it 3 songs later. Yeah, it's absolutely impressive. It's a new digital age, and I love every bit about it because it makes you so much more flexible for the client, especially on the rip. People, you're in a wedding and you're DJing, and people are coming up and they're requesting different songs, and somebody's like, "Oh, can you play that? Oh no from TikTok?" And you're like, "Yeah, we can play that." Something else like "Hey Oh" from Queen. Bohemian Rhapsody was so big. We did a wedding where they wanted us to do Blue Oyster Cult mixed in with Queen and do the Day-O, and we did all that, and it was amazing.
Oh my God, that was such a fun one.
We do some crazy mixes for people.
We do.
That's good.
Yeah, totally different now.
Yes, okay, because I taught my mom about this. I said, y'all are coming on my show. And she said, ask them this. So I'm like, yes, because she was like, yeah, I remember when they had to lug the big old crates of vinyls and boxes. I'm like,
milk crates full of vinyl. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that vinyl was right before my time, but I definitely helped my dad do that. My dad was a DJ originally, so I learned everything I knew from him, and now he's like, what's a computer? You know what I mean? He's 75, and like he's on his little iPhone, but it's about this big. I don't know how he sees it. iPhone 4. I didn't even think they still made those.
Yeah, they do. That's good. See, I like the progression. Okay, that's good. So, let's see. Let me go back. I'm gonna delete all this. So, we all know that COVID hit, and it made like a huge impact on different businesses. Like some of them failed, and some of them progressed. So, tell me a little bit about like how COVID affected your business.
Well, honestly, I would say even during the midst of it all, like where we live at in Georgia, there wasn't as many restrictions when it came to some of the COVID stuff. We were still very careful when it came to certain events because, it was such a big thing. But we just try to still communicate with the client, and it really actually started growing a lot because people had to push out a lot of events, for weddings and quinceañeras and different events and everything. And so it really wasn't the problem of booking, it's just the matter of just waiting for those events to come. But once we got through it, though, it just boomed like exponentially for us.
Yeah.
And we're very blessed in that way too.
I'd like to add to that as well is with COVID, everything became scaled down. So people who wanted to get married, they wanted to have 300-400 people, scaled down to 50, 60 people, did backyard weddings, at their homes, at their parents' land. And that really opened up a door for us to travel and do those events because people just couldn't get venues. The venues were shut down occasionally. And like she said, in Georgia, we really didn't have this issue, but we do travel from here all the way to Pennsylvania and the East Coast. So we do, Raleigh, South Carolina, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Georgia, Florida. We've done weddings in all of those states. And when it came to the, venues, that's where we struggled. We did a lot more backyard mom and pop kind of weddings, which honestly, that because of a standard wedding for us is typically 8 to 12 hours. And we get paid hourly. That's how we make our money. But we don't, we don't charge crazy, but we charge hourly. One hourly rate, we include every service. Some people have packages. We don't like that aspect. We don't want you to have to pick and choose. We give you everything we offer for this hourly rate for this period of time. So when it comes to running a business and paying, we do have a few employees to help us and our marketing and all that. Our income did go down a little bit because these weddings went from 12 hours to 3 to 4 to 5.
Okay.
It didn't affect us in the total aspect of income as far as hourly rates go.
Okay. Yeah, I understand. Yeah. Because COVID, oh Lord, I ain't even want to talk about it no more. But
I feel like we lost 2 whole years with COVID.
I feel like
2 years went by and like it was like, what happened?
Okay.
Yeah.
No. I don't like it. So, speaking of events, because you were speaking of events, what type of events do you all cover other than weddings?
Yeah, I'll let you take this one.
So basically we do everything, like besides weddings, we do quinceañeras, we've done community events before, school dances, we've done proms before, military balls, and we've done corporate events as well.
Christmas parties.
Christmas parties are so fun.
Yeah, we have an elementary school here. We did the sneaker ball, which is like dancing in sneakers. You dress up fancy, but you wear sneakers. So like full dress suit, tuxedo, but you're wearing sneakers. So it's the sneaker ball. And my opening line to that one was, "Y'all ready to squeak some sneakers?"
I like that. It's cute. I like that.
It was a good time. We really enjoy like the elementary ones. A lot of it's like kids bop remixes, and it's just really fun. Because you're taking just like filthy songs and doing the kids bop remix. Version. And they know all the words. It's just hilarious. You got 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds singing the worst stuff over the kids bop version. They already know the real words, but it's hilarious.
Honestly, I love even doing the quinceañeras. Those are super fun, and the cultural aspect and learning about all sorts of different cultural events have been absolutely remarkable. Just watching the stages of like how like a girl becomes a woman, and it's very special to get to witness those sort of things.
And of course, Megan from theater and from school, and Meg loves the theatrics and the ball gowns and the giant.
Me too.
And the last quinceañera we did, they had a whole soul train going. They were all like 16, 17 people lined up going in a circle, dancing, kicking their legs out. And actually that wedding, or excuse me, that quinceañera was so fun because the kids kept wanting us to turn it up. So we cranked it up.
That's
one of our Yeah, we blew one of our speakers. It started smoking.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So we took it outside, but we had another one in the truck, so we brought it
okay,
in.
that's good. That's good.
Yeah, we always carry extra big, but
They thought it was hilarious.
they loved it.
They're like, oh wait, this
Now-
place is really smoking.
Now everybody they went to a quinceañera and the speakers blew up because they played the music so loud.
I think someone
They
had, like,
loved it.
What's one kid I think said, "Wow, it got really lit in here."
Yeah, he's like,
Literally.
kids say the darndest things.
Oh my gosh.
It was so fun.
But that's good. See, y'all spin around, literally backspin. Y'all spin
Yeah.
around. I like that.
Yeah,
That's
we
good.
try to prepare for everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's best to do that. Okay, so yeah, you're definitely right. So speaking of, because now we're talking about challenges, like what challenges do y'all face, like while being in the music industry?
Gotcha. I would say there's a little bit of saturation, just because there's a lot of people going into the field now. We've made some wonderful networking, opportunities with different DJs from all across the country and around the world.
Right.
We regularly speak with a gentleman. He DJs up in the New England area, and he talks about like how when it comes to booking and like networking up there, sometimes he might face a little bit of challenges there, here and there. But other than that, though, it's just getting to really talk with people and just getting to know the clientele, and then just wanting to see if we can give them the best service.
So if you want to get into the real challenges of the business, the real challenges is storing all of your equipment, making sure it's functional, replacing things that wear out, the cost associated with it. But that's like the day-to-day business part. The hard part is keeping your gear in check, staying up to date with trends. There's all kinds of new equipment people are adding to increase your income, especially like cold sparklers is one. I don't know if you've heard of that, but essentially it's a spark box machine that blows metal material in the air.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's called cold spark because there's no actual fire. It's a chemical reaction with the way that this metallic flake heats up.
Yeah.
In this machine, and it blows it, and you can put your hand right in it. It won't hurt you.
Okay.
Those are great for like indoor events where you want to have a pyrotechnic service, or a great grand exit for like a wedding as well. And there's a lot of new technology out there. So the cost associated with that, keeping up, maintaining your equipment, making sure you have everything for your events, staying organized. Those are the real challenges, and that's just your day to day. As far as booking gigs and marketing and getting together in our area, like she said, we have a great community of DJs where we pass events to each other. Hey, I'm booked this day, but I have a client that wants to do it on this day. Are you available? Yeah, and we'll share our leads with each other. So it's a great community in our area. The greater Savannah area is really, really good to us.
Absolutely.
That's good.
Actually, in fact, like when we were getting married and everything, because obviously we couldn't DJ our own wedding.
I wanted to. She wouldn't let me.
I believe it.
Yeah. It was nice to take a step back and not have to worry about it. But we used one of our local DJs in our community to do our wedding, and it was fantastic. He was very similar to us in style and in cost and in preparation, and it was fantastic. I knew I could let my hands go and let him do it, and I didn't have to worry about it. So that's a good thing to have too, especially with us going through a wedding and planning and doing all that stuff. We know how to provide a DJ just as well, if not better than everybody else, because we went through the process ourselves. Yeah. So with new brides, we can tell them, hey, we're a husband and wife team. We know exactly what you're going through.
Yes.
Right. That's good. I like that. And then y'all also network with each other. Like, that's the best thing. People need a network. And I don't think a lot of people don't do that anymore. Like, go to these events.
I feel, without getting crazy, I just feel like with social media and technology, it takes everybody a step back from having physical conversation.
Right.
It's so easy to be on our phones. And I think it's just kind of coming to that way. We just need to get back out and get back and talk to people.
Well, I would say too, like there's some things like in our area, like where we're at, they do have like a meetup. I know for sure for DJs if they just want to come and hang out and have like a slice of pizza or whatever.
Yeah,
like, we're very blessed in the way that we have that sort of connection. But I do think too, because like we're performers really. When you think about it, like we are constantly at a competition with each other, kind of like when you're auditioning for a show, you're auditioning amongst other people around you, and you're trying to get the role. So basically, there's always that mentality. I think people take that over precedence over actually just having that connection of knowing each other. But we're very blessed that we do have that here, where we can actually talk to other DJs and have a good sense of camaraderie.
Yeah, that's a great point, because a lot of people don't think about that. I want music for my wedding. Okay. Do you want the guy in the corner that goes, "Hey, everybody, congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. Smith on their," or do you want, "Gentlemen,
Okay,
Mr. and Mrs. Smith"? You know what I mean? You gotta have some personality behind it.
Yes.
And that just comes with everything. And also, I'll tell you this. We do a lot of weddings. Wedding is our most focused events. That's what we do mostly. We'll do all the other events as well. They just don't happen as much. Okay. Weddings happen every single Saturday of the entire year.
Yes.
There's a wedding every Saturday of the entire year, and some on Fridays. The biggest thing with that is the attention to detail. There are so many people, DJs especially, and this is why we got into the business. DJs will come in and they go, "I'm the DJ. I'm only doing DJ things, and I'm going to do the DJ stuff," right?
Right.
We come in and we go, "Who's your day of event coordinator? Who's your planner? Who's your mother?
Good.
Who's the mother of the bride? Where are they going to be located? How much time do you need to get down the aisle?" We're going to ask all these questions. "Oh, you're having dinner? Perfect. Do you guys have plates, silverware, knives, and forks?" People forget.
Yes.
Meg dives in on the planner side and tries to be that coordinator with these couples, and I can focus on the DJ aspect. But we tag team it every single wedding, because we found a majority of people, and a lot of it just comes down to cost. They're paying $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 for a wedding, depending on who's. I mean, the money gets up there, and people don't think about, especially self planners, which there's a lot of really good self planners. But when you're the bride and you're walking down the aisle, if you don't hire a day of event coordinator or a planner to time everything and make sure things get done, you're the bride running around setting up your own lights.
Right.
We've seen it personally.
Yeah, I've seen it too.
And it's like, lady, like, you should be enjoying your wedding, and you're over here cutting your own cake.
Yeah.
You know, so Meg and I try to take that off the bride and groom.
Yeah.
And we really stress a day of event coordinator. It's a few extra $100. We don't even charge to do it. We include it with our services most of the time just to help out. Yeah. But we always try to refer somebody. And that's a huge thing for couples, because they don't realize the day of, when they're like, "Oh, well, I can do all this." Well, no, you can't. You're standing up at the altar with your husband trying to get married. Right. You're not going to be cutting the cake when you're supposed to be on the floor doing your first dance. But in their head, they think they can take care of all of it. And we try to educate our clients up front.
And the biggest thing too is just like, when it comes to the decision making for people, you know, we really value and honor what the client wants. So if there's other people that are trying to insert their opinion or their comment about stuff, we take what our clients want to heart, and what other people say, we're like, okay, we acknowledge what you said, but we're going to really focus on our, you know, the bride and groom or the birthday person or whoever.
So that's a huge point that I forgot to mention. And that's something that's in our application. It is, who is your one point of contact that has your husband and your wife's word. Okay. So meaning, we all know that there's family members that are going to come in and give their opinion on doing things, right? Okay. They're always the father, the mother, whoever it's going to be. There's someone going to be like, "Well, I think they want this," right? It's always that little kind of snooty, like, "I'm going to just get wrong. I'm going to stick my nose in there." We cut that out. So we go, you have one person that we communicate with, because we're not going to bother you on your day of your wedding. No. We're not talking to you at all. You're enjoying your day. This person is your word, your gospel, your whatever it's going to be. We're only going to them. If anybody says anything else, we're just saying, "Yep, sorry, that's not the bride's wishes." Who is your one contact? Yeah. And a lot of people don't do that. It's huge. A lot of people don't do that. And then you have hiccups. Yes. And you have things, "Well, the bride wants this. Oh, the bride requests this song." Well, did they? Because on my sheet it says here. So then you get people start playing stuff that's not requested or that's inappropriate, whatever it's going to be. And we screen all of our songs before we play them anyway. But the biggest thing is that one point of contact. It's huge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we don't want to be going up to the bride middle of the day and be like, "Hey, do you want this dance here?" Right?
Right.
Your timeline isn't always perfect. Things get delayed. So you need someone to stay on track and keep that list of that itinerary on time. For cake cuttings at 8:30, this is at 9, this is at 9:15. Yeah. forth. If you don't have somebody running the show falls apart, just like a stage manager.
Exactly. Okay.
Right? You understand that?
Yes, I do.
Yep.
Come on, y'all. I'm so happy for y'all because, like, I did not know y'all did all of this. So
Yes.
I'm glad y'all like spoke of this because people need to know. Like, literally have like a sit down talk. Everybody. Yeah, for real. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. I mean, yes, sir. Because, like, come on, I like that. So I'm definitely gonna have people book y'all because people don't do that. Like, that's a separate service. Like outside, like y'all outsourcing and stuff, but y'all have that in house, which is a really good thing. People don't have that. So that's good. So we're going to get to the nitty gritty, okay? Like, how do y'all feel about working with your partner? Like, give somebody advice who's like kind of scared of working with their partner or their spouse as a business partner.
You want me to start?
Come on, rock, paper, scissors.
Here's the thing. When you get into business with your significant other, you have to have your home life separate from your work life. You got to split it in half. It's tough because there's going to be high pressure situations,
right?
And you're going to have to be able to yell at each other a little bit and not get your feelings hurt, and then go home and pretend like it didn't happen. Because at the end of the day, we're trying to do what's best for the client.
Okay.
And sometimes it requires us to hustle and then be a little stressed out with certain things. That you have to be able to kind of pick on each other and do it in a fun way to break some of that monogamy. Was it the energy?
Just
right. It's really stressful.
Yeah.
You know,
I would definitely say, communication is the biggest thing. Definitely. Whenever I help him with events and stuff, like I always have like a separate schedule for mine, but I'll always make sure like he has something on my end. But communication is always the biggest thing for us, and making sure, hey, are we on the same page when it comes to this? Hey, plans change. What do we need to do? Like, communicating is the biggest thing for
always
us.
Have your phone on.
Yes.
Always have your text going, and always be within eyesight of each other. So you can do a little sign, and you like, hey, we need to meet up, whatever it is. Even if you're across the venue, because things will happen with like, oh, hey, the cake didn't show up, and like that has nothing to do with us, right? But it's something that we care about, and that's what that whole like one point of contact is. Hey, the cake's not here. The cake cutting's supposed to be at this time, and we know that the bride's going to be on the aisle at this time. Who's going to move the cake in? It's dumb stuff like that. People don't even think about. What does it have to do with the DJ? Well, it has nothing to do with the DJ, but that's what we care about.
Yeah. Right. Well, actually, it does with a lot. Like when you think about timing, especially like because
we are that time.
Yeah, we are that time.
We're the timing.
It's like when people are very constrained to time. Quality, depending if they only have a venue for a certain amount of time and they have to keep the events flowing and stuff, especially if there's a delay
or a hard exit.
You've got to figure out like, okay, improv during this period of time until we can get this fixed. What's the next thing we go on to? And so usually we'll check in with that one point of contact, like, hey, like in the meantime, until we can get this situated, let's move on to the next thing, just to keep it flowing.
Yeah, and this is all stuff we learned from doing it. Like our first weddings that we started, we didn't focus so much on that one point of contact or all these other details, but we had weddings where they were just unorganized and it was hard to maintain. It was hard for us to stay on schedule because we didn't have that single person. Or there was a time where people brought food and they had no silverware, forks, utensils. They had to go to the Dollar General to get them, and so people were standing around waiting to eat.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And we were trying to entertain and maintain, but people were hungry. They didn't want to dance. They didn't want to. So we're going through multiple playlists trying to keep the energy going.
Keep the vibe going.
And it made it very difficult for us to maintain. So, the biggest thing is that communication, pour into each other after the event.
Yes, absolutely.
We have some fun with beverages after. We celebrate it, but only after. We don't drink when we're on the job.
Only after.
People always offering us, but I personally don't like to drink when I'm working.
If anything, though, what's been nice is a lot of the weddings and other events we've had, a lot of our clients have been super generous, being like, hey, would you guys like something to eat? And which in that case, I'll make sure he gets something to eat and I'm up and running or whatever.
Yeah, we'll trade off.
We'll trade off. Okay. Or if he needs to use the bathroom, I'm able to actually jump on and cover for him if he needs to use the bathroom, vice versa. So that's been super helpful, like to get to know each other's equipment and to get to know each other's duties as well. We're very blessed in that way that he's been able to show me like, hey, this is how you can work a control board, or hey, this is how you can cue up a song. And if I need a moment or so, like, would you mind taking over? Like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, especially if we have multiple rigs and there's multiple events. So, for example, you're going to have a hard exit for them. It's going to be the bridal exit where they get in the chariot and they drive away. You may have to run and move some sound equipment to a different area or set up something for, when they're going down the aisle. And we have multiple systems for that, but you don't want to leave them unattended. Maybe it's raining outside. So if I have to step away and move some stuff or cover stuff up from the rain, we have to make sure that she's able to run everything while I'm out of that area.
Yep.
But the biggest thing, the main point of this question was, how is it as a couple? Pour into each other every day. And then when you hate each other the day of the wedding, you guys can deal with it. No problem. But no, just realize, you guys are here to support each other, and really at the end of the day, no matter what little arguments, because it's going to happen. I mean, there's things maybe that you go right, and a lot of times you don't mean to take it out on somebody, but you do, and it's not that we power through. It's tough. That's marriage is work, and anyone who says it's not is wrong. I mean,
right?
Marriage is work, but it's also love, and you just got to pour into each other. And I wouldn't want to do this with anybody else because it's yin and yang, right? When you find that person that makes you happy and is the complete opposite of you in every way, but you have all the same interests. That's a weird conversation to have, right? Opposite in every way, but have all the same interests.
Come on. Yeah. Yes. I love that.
Odd, right? It doesn't make sense. Doesn't sound like it would work, but it does.
It does.
And patience is the biggest thing, too. I would say it's just like removing yourself from that moment. Be like, okay, like this is nothing personal. Like this is work.
It's
like
business.
You leave your personal stuff at the door.
Yep.
You get your game mode on, and at the end of the day, we're like, okay, maybe you could have, handled this a certain way, but we're going to move forward with this because this is not the defining moment of our lives. Like this is just an event or whichever.
Weddings are simple, man. You want them to be exactly perfect for your client, and you're going to absorb a lot of that stress for every part of it.
I believe it.
We do it because we care.
Yeah,
we do it because we care. But yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way. Husband and wife team is the way to go. It's definitely something you don't see as much anymore. I know back in the day it was something that you had a lot of, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
That's good. I'm so happy for y'all. You're welcome. So, what book your services?
That's a great question. So you can book our services through multiple different ways. Of course, we are presented on The Knot. We're on Wedding Wire. We have our website at backspinmusic.com. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram. We have a YouTube channel as well and a TikTok channel too. You can honestly even send us an email just saying, hey, I have an event coming up. What are your prices like? Are you available these dates? Would you be interested? And we are very open, even if you give me a call or text me, like I'm going to be like, okay, let me look at my calendar, see what we can do for you. And if we can get you in, let's go.
So here's something to add to that. We are easy to book in just about any way possible. Any social media, email, events at backspinmusic.com or backspinmusic.com or anything, the Wedding Wire, The Knot. But what I will say is, ladies and gentlemen, when you book for your weddings, book at least 8 months out. Because when people book, people are very, very commonly booking 2 to 3 months out. And a lot of times we're already booked. I don't think people realize the time it takes to book a DJ, especially doing research. And it goes quick, especially during wedding season, which is right now. Unfortunately, we had a lady reach out to us for a wedding. And then she was like, oh, I'm going to think about it. And then she's like, oh, this isn't going to work for us, so we'll come back later. Well, she reached back out 2 weeks later and said, hey, are you still available? And we weren't. We had another booking already. So you really need to make sure to do your research up front, set up your appointments, do your face-to-face. We offer face-to-face, telephone, and video chat for all of our clients who are willing to meet. And we want to make sure that you answer all those questions so you have all that info. We're very upfront with pricing upfront. This is exactly what we charge for what services we offer. There's no games, no gimmicks, nothing like that. But yeah, as far as booking, make sure you do it in advance.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
That's good to know. See, I didn't know that myself because I was like, okay, how do you book a DJ for a wedding? Like, do you do it like maybe a month out or? But now I know 8 months out.
I would say between 8 and 6 months is a reasonable time. We get people trying to do it 2 months ahead of time, and it's just not enough time to plan and come out and look at everything. Now we've done it, but it's a lot of stress because we need them to build their playlist. We need them to recommend the music they want. I mean, we can do all that for them, but we want them to have a say.
Yes.
And so we have an application process that we send out that's like a likes and dislikes page. It has a venue information, a point of contact. So yeah, basically how you book a DJ is you contact us. we send you paperwork and saying this is what we need to know from you.
Okay.
We schedule an in-person video or phone call, and we answer all the questions you have, and then we just have basically a booking fee that secures your date.
That's good.
And that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, and the rest of that wouldn't be due to like the day before the event, or if you want to pay ahead, you're welcome to do so.
Yeah.
That we try to keep it as stress-free as possible, because from personal experience with wedding planning and stuff, it can be stressful trying to pay vendors way ahead or right before, and that could be quite a bit of money and time. So it's like we try to make it as stress-free as possible as well. That's one of our biggest things too. We want to be we're very approachable.
Yeah.
So
okay,
absolutely.
That's good. Yes, so I didn't know that, but now I know. So I'm glad y'all said that. So people who's getting married, listen up, book ahead of time, like way ahead of time. So, like, do y'all have any programs or events coming up that y'all want to share today?
Yeah, we have 8 weddings scheduled within the next 2 months.
That's good.
We have a birthday party and a few other events that we can't talk about, but we've got a lot of events coming up, and we stay booked. Most of our weekends are full. Every weekend in October, 3 in November. Yeah. And then we do some Friday night parties and some other stuff. It's good. Lots of events coming up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right now, mostly weddings.
Okay, yeah, weddings.
It's wedding season, so.
Yes, it's huge right now.
That's good.
Absolutely.
So the last question I have for you all, like, do a shout out. Shout out everything. Shout out your social media, website, everything.
Absolutely. You can definitely follow us here at backspinmusic.com. Or you actually go on the website of backspinmusic.com. You can go to our Facebook page. You can go to Instagram and TikTok as well. We have a YouTube channel too.
Yep, it's Backspin Music. Backspin Music at every platform.
That's good.
We booked them all, and then backspinmusic.com is our main website, and then you can find us on the Wedding Wire, and the nod is Backspin Music.
Absolutely.
Typically, we're like the 3rd or 4th profile down on there.
Okay.
So you can find us. Yep.
Yeah. That's good. That's it. That's all I have for you all today. And I want to thank y'all so much for coming on Navigator Nights today.
Thanks for having us. This is fun.
Absolutely. You're welcome. Remember, yes, life was delayed, but it never gave denied. I'm your host, Anna Colaquette, and you're listening to Never Gave Denied Podcast. Bye.